Another weekend, another wild weekend of beat baseball, another tournament, all kinds of wild results. And you're going to get it all here in our recap of the 2023 Bolingbrook Beepball Bash here on the Beepball Blue Show with NealDawg and Bam Bam and Set Dog. I don't think we're going to be able to contain our guests too long tonight.
That does not appear that way, man. What's happening?
Hey,
What's happening with you,
Seth got that green on, boys. Represent just hard. Look at him.
See, now,
hey, Seth knows he's about that jet life, baby.
Yep. I'm down with San Antonio. I ain't got no problem with San Antonio.
Yeah, man, you need to come visit. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I ain't visited, but I ain't got no problem with San Antonio.
We had Jeremy Lopez was on the show with us. He's one of the many people that's in the van right now. We'll go through everybody who's in the van in a second. But when Jeremy was on just a few weeks back, he was very disappointed that you weren't here with us, Set Dog.
Damn, that hurt my heart.
Yeah, I can't remember what was going on. Some football meeting or something like that. I don't know what the hell it was.
No, you guys had gone down to see your folks. That was the weekend when Trajan first came back from school.
Yeah, that was just a couple weeks ago.
Well, we had a week off somewhere in there, so that was like at least 3 weeks ago. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. Not important enough. But Jeremy is very upset.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeremy. Nice to meet you finally, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One day it'll be in person, man.
Yeah, right. I accepted. I believe I accepted a friend request from you on Facebook before I ever even spoke to you, man. So yeah. At some point when I get to a World Series, maybe we'll sit down, drink a beer, whatever. So
man, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Yes, sir.
Hey, X, since you have the most clear sounding mic, run down who all's in the van with you.
We got Rose, Jeremy, Zach, Smith, Lil Rick, Hector, and myself.
All right. Nice. Saw Hector out there getting some swings in. Hey, X, let me ask you first. Let me ask you, X, first. What's going on with you, dude? I count 3 missed bases in the last 2 days. 3 missed bases.
Yeah, I don't know. I got no excuse.
Fair enough. I thought you'd have something for me. But nah, man. Look, it's June 11th, so you know what I mean. You guys are veterans. You and Zach have won championships before. You know the score. You guys didn't win the 2023 championship today. So, there's still work to be done. But you got to be proud of the effort. You're as a leader of that squad, you got to be proud of how your squad performed today, this weekend in general. Where are you at?
Oh, definitely. We're proud of our progression that we made from the beginning of the season to now. We were proud of Jeremy getting his first tournament win because this is his second year pitching, but we hadn't won any tournaments with him, so we were proud for that.
Oh, you mean tournament championship?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when you first said that, I'm like, you guys didn't win any games last year at tournaments? I'm sorry, I took you too literal when you said first tournament win. The first title.
Axel's a champion, man. He's just talking big time.
Yeah, right.
Big time.
Yeah, so definitely we're proud, and we definitely feel like we're on the right path. So we're ready to keep working, baby. Get back to practice and do this damn thing.
Zach, man, you jump. I believe you're on one of the open mics. Am I correct? Yes. No, maybe.
Yeah, I'm one of the open mics.
All right, you're another one of the leaders, man. Jump in. You give me your thoughts.
With that, just like Axe, he had his hoops. I had a bunch of hoops too, man. I struggled on short balls, but we ended up doing enough to take first in the tournament, so it was good. And I think Hector fucking played a big role in being a young player and stepping up in the championship game. He did well.
Heck yeah, heck.
Heck, that's still Hector right there, still. And yeah, overall, all the best. We're gonna just sharpen it up for the series.
I remember Hector was with you guys when you played in the Texas shootout. If I remember right, he was with you guys. But overall, this is his rookie season, right?
Last year was his rookie season. He wasn't at the Texas shootout, though, I don't think. And,
I don't know. I thought I remembered seeing him. I guess it was last year then. But I didn't think my memory of him went back as far as last summer. So my apologies for that.
I don't know. Hector, were you at the Texas shootout? Yeah, so Hector wasn't there, but yeah, he played the World Series last year. That was his rookie season. He got some at bats, but he was mainly DF. But his bat's coming around, so he's gonna be an asset for sure.
All right. Well, I know I talked to Axe earlier about passing everything around and giving everybody a little bit of chance. So I'll wait and ask Hector more. When we get in touch with Hector. Jeremy, you still live with us right now?
I sure am, man. I sure am.
So, dude, how are you feeling, man? One remark I was hearing, because I followed the tournament as close as I could, and teams that went up against you, I was hearing them talk about how it's obvious you've been putting in the work. They think that they're seeing something in you even more than what they saw of you last year. How you feeling about your game, where you're at right now?
I'm gonna go with Zach's remarks on that, man. We just need to sharpen up a little bit. We made multiple mistakes, and so did other teams and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we went out there and the practice showed itself, But we're gonna get out there. We're gonna get a little bit more practice in before the World Series, and we're gonna sharpen up. So I'm feeling confident, man. Like I think it's gonna be good. I think we're definitely top tier. I do know that. So as a whole, man, we just got to go over there and get a little bit more practice in and get ready for this series.
Seth, you got anything you want to jump in with these guys before they start passing around to other people?
No, I didn't. I only saw like one out of your games, so I wasn't able to track. I watched the Heat games. I wasn't able to track the Jet games as much.
Beat up my boy.
Yeah, right.
You brought up the Heat, and there's a few things that I want to touch on, kind of circling back to next week, and I'll save the other stuff for later. But one of them is that our boy JoJo Fleeks from the Heat hit a home run last weekend, and we failed to mention it when we did our recap, and that was a big deal. Coming into this weekend, Big Joe Fleeks.
All right, Joe.
Dude had to send me a note. And he's like, man, how come you're hating on the Heat? It's like, oh, dude, I got nothing but love for you, Joe. just forgot a lot of things that I forget to say. But this weekend, the action kept up. Kyle Lewis from the Indy Thunder hit a home run, and our boy D. Smith, who's there in the van now, that's your first home run, D. Smith?
Hey!
This is definitely more of a for me a morning show when I ain't all sleepy and stuff.
What do they call it? The morning breakfast flips or whatever?
Hey, where are you guys at? You guys are in the van. Where are you guys at? Like, where are you
somewhere
on
in Missouri?
Are you in
Missouri?
All right. Yeah, was that D. Smith I heard jump in?
What's going on, Neil? Seth?
What's up, B?
Dude, man. How talk about your home run, man.
Man, how'd it feel to hit a home run?
Well, no, I am wondering because I don't know, like squared up of the ball sometimes feels differently. Like sometimes you really feel like, you got hold of one, but sometimes when you hit it just right, like it's so just right that you get a good hit, but you didn't feel like you really powered it out. Like when you hit the home run, D. Smith, did you know you had a shot?
Nah, I just felt like any other hit.
Right.
It happened really fast, and I hit the base and heard Jeremy screaming. And next thing I know, he's flying in the air towards me, and like a bear going after a picnic basket. But it all happened really fast, man. But it's cool. It's cool.
I know that you, D. Smith, you're kind of a no-nonsense kind of a guy, and now you've been around the game for, I don't even know, what, 4, 5, 6 years now, at least?
7th year.
Yeah, I started thinking about that because I started to say 2016. It's like, God, that sounds like a long time ago. Was he playing that long ago? It's like, man, I guess he was. So, you're a veteran now. Like, coming out of this tournament, headed towards the World Series. Like, where's your thought as a leader on the team? Like, what you guys need to work on, what you got going on that's good, that's bad. Where are you at with the team?
We're right on schedule, in my opinion. We got some things to clean up, but this is a huge win for us, and we're just going to carry momentum forward.
Hey, let me go back to last week. You got to play the weekend with the Gateway Archers. What was that? Was your role different? Did you gain anything out of that?
Oh, of course. I mean, I'm just there to be the best team I can be, and I was appreciative of the Archers inviting me out so I can work with them, and yeah, it was fun.
This was your second time playing with Johnny Walker, right?
My first time.
I thought, didn't you play one tournament with them last summer?
Yes, but I don't think Johnny Walker was.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then talk about. I'm a big Johnny Walker fan. Well, I would love to say that somewhere along my career I got to play a little bit with Johnny Walker, and I never got to put that on my resume. But did you gain anything from being around one of the game's icons?
Always, just being around someone like that, you get a little bit of their energy. He's a great pitcher, great person. Just a great guy to be around.
All right.
Hey, was it raining the whole game today for you guys in the Jets game?
Off and
all
on.
day?
For like 80% of the
Yeah.
Do you guys like playing in the rain? I always thought playing in the rain was fun. Dangerous, but fun. Do you guys? God, I believe you guys played in the rain in a championship game a few years ago, right?
Didn't it rain in Rochester in 2015? Rochester, New York.
2015 was It rained in 2012. I know that definitely. I remember that when we got double dipped by Taiwan.
Did it rain in God? Where were we? Tulsa? Not Tulsa.
It rained in 2019.
Yeah.
That is Tulsa.
Okay, yeah.
That is Tulsa. You know what? Because I was listening. There's a strange CJ Sellers, who's a rookie on the Thunder. His mom, Sam, and DB did the game on the Thunder side. And you could just hear it in her voice the whole game. She was shivering. I felt bad. I felt cold listening to her. Same thing listening to Leah Michaels call the Edge game. But they were referencing a lot was the 2007 tournament, Seth, which you and I played in the championship game when it rained the entire day, the coldest day in beepball history. We actually had to play 2 games because that was the second year of the current format that the World Series is playing, but it was those first 2 years we were still a 4-day tournament.
Right.
We had to change it to a 5-day tournament because there were just too many games, and we're the team that experienced it because both years we came up through the losers bracket, and with the when it was still a 4-day tournament, we had to play the third game third place game Saturday morning just to get into the championship game and try to win too. So it rained on us all the way through the first game. And then here comes Kansas in their brand new dry uniforms. We were freezing to death already. But I don't know. That's enough about us. But they did talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have a comment on that because nobody in this van was playing ball in 2007.
Yeah, right.
Hey, well, you guys started off the show with like a 1995 song, though, man. So we're throwing it back to the old.
Are you saying they took that from Taiwan?
I don't know. I only heard.
Not like so. So the thing behind that is that Lil Rick's on the USA blind soccer team.
Okay,
so
right.
When Lil Rick
we
do the Olay thing.
All right.
Hey, so let's pass around and let's get Little Rick in. Let's get Hector in. I can't remember if you said there was another player or not. Let's definitely get some other folks in. It's gotten so quiet. I feel like we lost the connection.
Like they lost connection. It's just us, man.
I know.
Hey, y'all didn't lose
It's
man.
Is that my boy Lil Rick?
Yes, sir. Sir.
What up, meat? How are you, baby?
Yo, what's up? No, I'm pretty good. Just another road trip with the Jets. That's all.
Jet
live, baby.
Hey, Ricky, man, something I realized this weekend that we're going to have to start. I'll help if I can, if the team wants it. We need to start publicizing you a little more because it doesn't seem that our teams out there know you, man. I was listening to the game when you played the Edge on Saturday. And when you came up, the people doing the stream on the Edge side, they're like, Ricardo, they got a new batter hitting six. Ricardo, I've never seen Ricardo before. I was like, I'm sitting there going, man, Axe didn't tell me about no new guy named Ricardo. I'm like, where's little Ricky? I guess he's off playing soccer.
That's just them not knowing no better. That's all. We can't put it's on the streamer. It ain't on nobody but them.
Some of it might be the mask because they actually had a hard time recognizing you. Are you guys wearing different face masks this year that are bigger or something? No difference. All right. When Axel was up to bat, I remember Leah Michaels like, man, she had a hard time recognizing that it was Axe, but she did make some kind of mention that just with the blindfolds, that like it covers enough facial features that it makes it hard. Like that I understood or whatever. But I mean that the other one though is Jono, the coach for Austin. I mean he knows who you are, but he was calling you little me. M-E, little me, like mini me from the movie. He was calling you little me, and gotta give a shout out to Faith Penn. She's like, what you talking about, Willis? You ain't little me? Little me.
Yeah.
That's
I usually
me.
just come up and come off. That's all I do.
Handle your business, right?
So how's your defense?
Come up and get off.
How you feeling about your defense up in that front right corner, Ricky?
Fucking great. It feels good.
I think feel solid this weekend.
Yeah, I think I should go to practice for sure.
On a serious note, how hard has it been to balance the soccer and beepball and make sure?
Oh, it's fucking easy.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's easy for the standpoint of you're having fun doing it, but are you able to make all of it? You know what I mean? Are you able to meet all the, practices?
Oh yeah, I can make every practice.
All right.
I make every practice. I make every soccer practice. No, I don't practice at all. I don't practice people at all.
See, man, I don't like little Ricky around Zach and Axe. I'm getting a little sassy, little Ricky, man. Dude was so gracious when we had him on the show before, calling us sir. I'm just playing with you, Rick. Man, I mean, Seth likes to point it out. I ask dumb questions sometimes. When we got 100 people on all at the same time, I don't know where to go with it. I just kind of bounce around. Hey, I know Hector's there with you. Is Will Lopez in the van also?
Hey, I didn't say Will. No, he's not in here.
Yeah, all right. I wasn't sure if there was a name that I missed or not when you were naming off all the names.
Say what's up.
Hey, how's it going?
Who's this, Hector?
Yeah.
Dude, Hector, man, nice work this weekend, dude.
Thanks, man. No, I appreciate it.
Congratulations on the win. Hey, this is your first time on the show ever, man. So tell us a little bit about you, dude. How do you find this team? You know, how you adjust into beat baseball and jet life?
Man, I came in last year. That was my rookie year and everything. But I heard about it probably like 5 years ago. I just never went to practice. I was like go baller. and I met it because Ricky and I went to high school together. We played go ball and stuff. So
okay. So you and Ricky go back quite a way.
Information when I moved to San Antonio and everything, and yeah. Was able to learn about the sport, but I was never like I didn't know much about it, you know. So
how old are you?
I was just stuck to go ball, you know. I thought that was a fierce blind sport.
Oh, it is. That's Seth's favorite blind sport, I believe.
It is. It is, without a doubt.
Yeah.
How old are you, Hector?
23.
You've been blind all your life? Did you go
Not
blind
yet.
later?
Go ahead.
Nah.
Answer your question.
I lost my vision almost 10 years ago, and it's just been
Haven't been able to find it since.
You be quiet. Did you play other sport? Did you play sports at all before you lost your eyesight?
¿Hablo en español?
What do you say?
Poco. ¿Hablo en español aquí?
He was just asking, did you play other sports? While you're sighted?
While I was sighted, no, I mean, you know, just the typical Mexican, like soccer,
Right.
and some basketball, but I never really got into anything else. And then
Are you a
my
total
first time
now?
pretty much playing baseball.
Are you a total now?
I'm visually impaired. I'm like
Okay.
just legally blind, you know.
Got you.
Yeah, he'd not want to.
Well, yeah, I'm a B3,
He'd separate
so I'm
himself.
trying to start some soccer, you know, like blind soccer and partially sighted soccer.
What you mean? Something like start another team, like what Ricky does, or something separate from that?
Yes, do all of it.
All right.
That's what I love about these guys. You know, everybody has that passion for the sport and wants to make everything grow and get more competitive and get more people playing.
Hey, so while we have you, Hector, I mean, you've while you've been getting started, and even at times this weekend, you know, you spent time as designated fielder, which I could dig that role. That's something I did a lot at the end of my career. Jeremy said that your bat's coming around. What have you been working on during this off season to get your bat rolling around?
I've been doing a lot of like pull-ups and back workouts and stuff like that. So, you know, trying to get that back locked in, you know, for my swing. Yeah, and we just been hitting the ball. Jeremy and I have been at practice and swinging it.
Have Zach and David Smith, I know that they're like personal trainers. Have they been helping you with like specific workouts to develop your swing?
Oh, yeah. Zach and David, man, both of them have been teaching me everything about kinesiology, since that's what I was studying, and like getting into all the technique and form and workouts for all this stuff. So I've been really trying to get into it.
All right. Well, cool, man. Well, congratulations on the win this weekend. Or, you know, that's a successful tournament, and keep up the good work, man. Keep building up with this group. You're on a good squad, man.
Thank you, man. I mean, I'm
with.
I'm most grateful, you know, to be learning from some of the best right here, you know, the best that got here in baseball right now.
Hey, while we have you, let me ask you, because, you know, Bam Bam and I, we've known your boy Lupe for like 30-something years now.
Since it was invented, right? No, just kidding.
Has Lupe been a good leader for you on that squad?
Yeah, no, for sure. Today he was
giving you some
literally.
good tips.
Oh yeah. That's where we started off as well. And Will, Axel, like everybody has their expertise and telling me on defense and offense how to fix every little detail, the small adjustments I need to do to really lock up my positions. So I mean, I'm most grateful, man, to be learning from these guys and keep growing.
Very nice. Well, we wish you luck with it. We wish you luck with it. We need to still run down all the results of the tournament. It's totally up to you guys. And I actually don't know if I've skipped anybody. I don't know if I've skipped anybody
having
in your
stats is like the best thing in sports, you know?
What do you say? What's the best thing in sports?
Having stats.
Oh.
Having stats. But I just wanted to run down all the scores so people know how the tournament played out.
Of course, because they don't know yet.
They might not. They might not. You don't. So for
I
those
know
who
all the
don't,
scores, man. Shit. Come on now. I saw it on Beepball Nation.
well, I called it the recap, so we're gonna recap the tournament.
Hey, we haven't met Rose the spotter yet.
You know what? I'll be honest. I assume she's driving. Who's
Yeah,
driving?
who is driving? I thought she was the driver too.
Hey, we got one of them Tesla vans, baby.
Yeah, I was with you, Neil. I thought she was driving too. I was like, oh, we can't talk to her, but
No,
bring her
absolutely.
on.
Put Rose on.
Yeah, I'm on. Hi.
Hey, Rose, how are you?
I'm good.
Correct, because I'm a member of the public relations committee with Richie Flores. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the one that edited all the videos that came out of the All-Star Weekend. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you did some very nice work there. So, thank you for that. Thank you for your contribution. But talk about your squad this weekend as a spotter. How's your group spotting out? How are they setting up out there on the field? How they looking to you?
Oh yeah, they're like. I mean, I think we had a rough start, but it got better towards the end of each game. But that's all. Like everybody's been saying, that's all on practice. It's kind of hard for everyone to get together sometimes to get some real good defense in, but we've been working on it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really the only way to get the defense to come around. You gotta get out there and put in the time together.
Right.
Are you the right field or left field spotter?
I'm the right field. Left field. Sorry, I still don't know how to do it from the base or from like where I'm standing. So from where I'm standing, I'm on the right side, looking at the batter. But I guess that's the left wing, right?
How did you become a spotter? How did you get hooked up with the Jets?
Well, I met Zach, and Zach took me to one practice, but I was just kind of volunteering. And then because I do video and all that stuff, I took my camera one day and started filming these guys and got really into like the sports and the athleticism from them. And I guess once Sarah had left, they were looking for a spotter that would help them at practices, and then I eventually just became their spotter.
Very nice. And if I remember right, Catherine is the other spotter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you and Kat are the team.
We try to keep these guys in order, you know.
Yeah, that's something I've been wondering over the weekend, especially with Axel missing all those bases. With Zach and Dave and Axel kind of coaching the team, when they screw up, who tells them what to do? Is it you? Is it Jeremy? Who gets to boss them around?
Me. It's definitely not me.
It's a collective. It's a collective thing. Like everybody gets on. Nobody's being critiqued.
All right, that's fair.
Neil, can I bring up something with you? I know that
Sure.
I know the rest of the league will not like it. I'm always looking for ways to any rule to the league, new rule, I always think should go to helping out the defense, right? To lower the scores. And I watched Tanner Gears miss a base and hurt himself on the missed base or whatever. And running bases, I think, is always the most dangerous, part of beat ball. And of course, missing a base is always really dangerous kind of on the runner, because then you have to stop and try to go back. And I was thinking, what about a rule that meant if you miss that base, you're just out?
That's pretty harsh.
And what I would think is, A, it would help with the player safety, but B, it would help, it might slow the runners down a little bit to give the defense a little bit better chance to score. But it was just a thought, man. It was just a thought. I was like, man, if you did that, it would, be a smart safety thing, and maybe cut down on the scores. I mean, people generally get back if they don't get hurt.
The poor blind people definitely need our safety to be looked out for sure.
Well, hey, I mean, I know nobody gives a damn about all that. But as somebody who does, do other sports, and we have in football, we have to put in all different types of tackling and all this and that, just as a smart thing. So it's not I don't consider you guys poor little blind people. I consider you athletes, and I'm always trying to make sports safer, but also trying to bring down the scoring on beat ball. Any way we can bring the scoring down, I'm always in favor of. But as I watched Tanner Gears hurt himself and be out for the rest of the tournament, like, man, it's harsh. And hell, I've missed bases 4 or 5 times and still got to the base. I know it's harsh. But it was just a thought, man.
It certainly would add pressure to not missing the base.
Yes.
As if there wasn't already enough. X, I don't, it seemed like there was a strong response to his proposal.
Of course there was.
But their audio cut out, so I don't know if I'm right about that. Do you guys have a response on your end, X, before I address?
Oh, I mean, no, we just didn't agree with it, but
as a player, I probably wouldn't have agreed with it either. And again, as a player who missed bases, I missed bases, and scored on those missed bases. But to me, I don't know. It might add another element to the game to make it more difficult. I'm always trying to make the game more difficult.
Hey, but you know what I think about the injuries from this weekend, man? That area hadn't gotten a lot of rain, so not only was the grass dry and stuff, but for whatever reason, there was a whole bunch of divots and surprise little snapping potholes and stuff like that. So I think that has something to do with some of those injuries, but definitely bases in general, not just missed bases, but bases in general cause injuries. So
I mean, that's kind of my just like even you said, Seth, like as a player, you wouldn't agree with it. The players have the largest numbers in our voting, and the players would never vote for that. I don't think.
And that's why I asked you, and I didn't ask the Jets.
Yeah, fair enough.
I asked you, NealDawg.
I don't think it lowers the scores personally. I do agree with you. I think the most dangerous thing is running the base. Steve, do you know his last name from Austin, X?
Courier.
Yeah, Steve Courier. Am I saying it right? Courier. He hurt his shoulder really bad. I haven't heard the diagnosis, but something I could relate to. He had to be
dislocation.
Yeah, I figured I dislocated my shoulder in the 1994 World Series, and I had to experience the same thing of laying there while the ambulance came to take me away. Although I expect his teammates were a little more supportive. you know what Seth said to me when I was laying there waiting for my ambulance, Act?
He probably asked you if you wanted him to pop it back in.
He's like, Emmitt Smith would let him pop it back in. He'd run for 100 yards.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, thanks, buddy.
Hey, to be fair, it wasn't the first time I've stood over you while you've been hurt on the beepball field, though.
All right. Enough about me. There were a few entries though. Corey White was injured this weekend. On defense, I believe what happened is his foot was down in one of those divots that Axe was just talking about, and I think Miguel Tello coming in on the play also stepped on his foot, so he kind of got spiked or whatever is what my understanding is. On Saturday he was hoping he could probably play on Sunday. He did not play today, but I believe they expect him to be okay heading towards the World Series. Steve with the dislocated shoulder, I'm less optimistic for it. It's way too close to the World Series, so I was sorry to see that. Do you know of any other major injuries, Axe?
Fleeks. Fleeks has issue with the Achilles.
Yeah, he did that on a run to base too, I think. I mean, there was a play that he came back from base limping. I don't know. I don't know if that was the play that hurt him or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't ask him on the specific play, but
he has to hear that. That's tough because the tournament's 6 weeks out. Tough for any injury for any player.
And I'm not sure the severity, but Ja'Cory had a quad as well, and Tanner had something as well. I'm not sure what that was.
I didn't even think. I was surprised when I saw Tanner out there. I didn't think Tanner was supposed to be there this weekend. Maybe I'd heard that wrong going into it, but I don't know. Hate to see injuries. Let's run through the games. It's totally up to you, Axe, if you guys want to stick around while we do this part, or if you guys want to bounce, you're certainly welcome to stay and comment as we go through the games. We jump down.
We're gonna rock with you, man.
Oh. he's like, where do we gotta go, man?
Yeah, right. We're in a van.
We ain't going nowhere.
We talked about it last year, but man, it's impressive each year that San Antonio does this with the Bolingbrook tournament, because Bolingbrook's right outside Chicago. You have like a 16-hour drive each way, right? Is that right? 18. So they drive 18 hours there. They play Saturday, they play Sunday, and they jump back in the van for 18 hours. After playing 4 days, man. Something I would not.
Is that life, baby?
Yeah. It's very impressive.
You know what a big part of that is? What allows us. It is like van life, but you know what allows us to do that is the fact that the squad is all fam, so it's just like you taking a road trip with your fam, it ain't that hard.
Vacation, yeah.
It ain't that hard.
That's fair. I could dig that. Although my family never, I guess no, I don't even think we ever drove to LA. I think the longest my family was in a car together was about 2 hours. I don't know that we would still be family if we did 18 hours each way. So
same. I was more so speaking on what the movie view of family vacations are.
Fair enough. All right, man. Let's run down these games and see if you guys got any thoughts on them. Starting Saturday morning, Indy Thunder beat the Chicago Comets 17-16. They had to come from behind to win that game. The Comets played really well this weekend. Bayou City Heat 16-6 over the Millers. That was 1-1 after 1 inning, and then 16-1 after 2 innings. So the Heat did all their damage in the second inning, then played defense. The Indy Edge beat the Blackhawks 15-10. The Jets beat the Scrappers 22-5. Starting their tournament off. So the second round on Saturday, Thunder beat the Heat 27-23, but the game wasn't that close. The Thunder went up in the run rule, put them in a run rule like 27-8. I'm not sure what inning that was, but the Thunder, it was pretty tight for a couple innings, and then the Thunder just broke it open, and the Heat couldn't stop them.
Yeah, it was one of the innings I was able to catch this weekend. the inning where they
that was a rough one.
It was quite entertaining though, hearing Andrea introduce herself to Daryl Miner. Yeah, I've been around for like 34 years. My brothers are Kevin and Wayne Simpson. I'm like, Daryl, you don't know her.
Oh, you're saying Daryl introduced himself to her, or she didn't know?
She introduced herself to Daryl. Daryl's like, oh, you've been around, or he was like, asking about her. She's like, oh yeah, I've been coming to Turner for like 34 years.
Yeah, right. A-Dog's an icon.
Like, okay, Daryl, man, where the hell you been, man? But
the Comets beat the Millers 8-7 in a close game. The Jets beat the Edge 19-14. I believe that game did start 4-0, right though, Axe, after like 2 innings before you guys turned it around.
Yeah, man, we didn't score our first run to the 3rd inning, and
then you scored 7 in the 3rd, and just kept rolling from there. That was a really solid performance.
You guys had to stay tough.
Sorry about that. I was talking to you guys before we started the recording. That's what I was thinking about. You guys it fell behind 14-0 and then outscored them 19-4 over the next like 3 innings. And then going into the last inning, you were up 19-8. So they had to score 6 runs to make it the 19-14 game. And you guys were the home team, if I remember right. Would have still had your ups?
Nah, we were the road team.
No? Oh, okay.
They were the home team.
Okay. All right. So I guess that did get close, but I mean,
what I say about that is that I mean, we pulled it out and it looked the way it looked, but we know that's not going to be the same squad we're going to see in Norman. So we got that dub and that was cool and all, but it ain't. We're not really, No,
anybody that's been around beepball, I mean, you just look at their lineup, you know what they're capable of. So
exactly.
And they didn't have all their horses this weekend. We'll make note of that with whatever teams it's significant with. They were missing Mulherron and Aaron C. And then Corey White got hurt on Saturday. Aaron C. jumped in a car at 4 a.m. Eastern time, and he made it. And I have no idea what that noise is. You guys might have to mute or something. There's some crazy noise coming through on this end. Aaron C. did show up and play today, but they were shorthanded most of the weekend. Boo. Seth?
I'm here.
No, but I lost my screen with the scores.
Well,
there
in the third round, they won one, and then
I got it back. All right, so let's finish this up and be done with this part. So the Jets 19-14, Hawks 16-4 over the Scrappers. They started out 8-0. And just kept rolling from that point. All right, in the last round on Saturday, the Thunder beat the Millers 9-7. The Comets beat the Heat 22-11. That was a run rule. I don't know what the score was when Chicago put the Heat into the run rule, but Chicago handled them solidly.
And the Heat the Heat were short-handed once Tanner and all those people went down. They only had like 7 people at the tournament.
The Heat ended up borrowing like half of the archers. They had Mark and Emo on their squad.
Yeah, without even knowing that Joe Fleeks and Ja'Cory got hurt. I mean, they were talking about maybe putting Michael Garrett into the game after Tanner got hurt. So I knew they were in trouble. So.
Yeah, I was because enough of the teams were missing multiple people. I guess I was going to kind of circle back and try to cover all the teams. But yeah, the Heat. You brought up something I'd forgot to ask you though, X, because Kyle Bora showed up to play with you guys, but I saw him playing with the Heat today. So did you guys let him go over there because they just needed bodies?
Exactly. That's what it was. They approached us inquiring about Bora, and we were in the position where we could afford to let him play over there to get more PT. So we went ahead and did that.
All right. No, that's it's I don't know, especially at these regional tournaments. I love that teams, are flexible and work together like that. But yeah, the Heat came into this weekend with no Richie Flores, no Brandon Chesser. I didn't think Tanner was going to be there, but he showed up, obviously. No Mike Coughlin. So Mark Morris was already playing with them. I don't think it was a plan ahead of time.
How much? Yeah, I got draw.
I thought they were talking to us. But Demetrius
Hey,
Morrow
Remy, you got to mute, Remy.
Demo ended up playing with the Heat. I don't think that was planned ahead of time. And then, like they said,
no, can't imagine.
Could you get them muted up?
Yeah, they dipped out the van, bro. Like they're not in here.
Right.
So.
Oh, okay. All right. The Edge beat the Scrappers 20-7. Obviously, their best game of the weekend. The Jets beat the Hawks 17-13. The Comets beat the Heat, and we already said that 22-11. So that wrapped up Saturday. That gave us our placement games. The 7th place game was 9-6. Scrappers beating the Millers. Same score for the Hawks.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I just want to say one thing, man. You know what? Well, our game that we played against the Edge, man, we were a little shaky. We still haven't given them our best game, but they have given us their best game. So we know what to look for. When we get back over here to Texas and we get this practice right, bro, we're looking forward to seeing them in the World Series full strength, all of them.
Man, I like the confidence, but you just put some material on their locker room wall right there. I don't agree. You've not seen them at full strength. You've not seen them at full strength, I don't believe.
We saw them full strength at the series, man.
Hey, Neil.
They were hitting bombs on us all day, bro.
Hey, Neil, I'm a casual fan. And when he made that comment, I was like, man, I'm not sure that's the truth. I'm glad.
I want to be clear that that's not us saying they were not at full strength. They did not.
You know what I think Remy was trying to say is that he, in his opinion, they gave us their best offensive performance last year at the World Series.
Oh, gotcha.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Got you. Well, I'm sorry. I thought it was like this weekend.
No, man. Hey, this weekend we didn't get any full strength from. We didn't get any full strength from them or the Thunder this weekend. And we got the dub though. You still got to salute it. It's still a dub because their pitchers were having problems. I was having problems. Their players were having problems. Our players were having problems, and we still struck it out. We still came through there and hung it out. And we took the dub, you know what I mean?
No, you got.
So I mean, really, to be honest with you, our flaws were matched to their flaws, and their flaws were matched to ours this weekend. So it really was tough to debate on that or have a remark on that. But when we're full strength and we're ready to go, and I'm 100%, and my squad's 100%, we're gonna take it, bro. I promise you that.
Yeah, I feel with that.
For what it's worth, I'm just one man's opinion. I have come out of this weekend feeling like you guys are the team to beat right now. I mean, that's I realize that we didn't see the Thunder at full strength this weekend. We didn't see the Edge at full strength. Last week, we didn't see the Fire at full strength. I think that they're the other teams that will have the highest chance at finishing in the top 4 along with your own. But right now, I feel like you guys are the team to beat. That was just my own opinion. Let me run down these final scores from today. So the Hawks were defeated by the Heat 9-6. The Hawks were winning that game like 6-3, and then the Heat were able to turn it around. Who knows who was playing for them or how they were patching it together. But they ended up pulling out the victory and getting that. I was listening to the Austin stream, and when I'm listening like to one team stream, I don't hear a lot usually. It's nothing against Austin. I get that from all the streams. You don't hear as much about the other teams. So I don't know who did what for the Heat, but they came from behind and won that 9-6. The Comets beat the Edge 8-7 in a walk-off by Richie Schultz. They were losing going into the bottom of the sixth, 7-4, and they only scored 4 runs in the first 5 innings, and they put up 4, and they beat the Edge. It was Richie Schultz, just like last summer. I was trying to remember exactly. I think they went into a game at the World Series down like 13-8. And it was the bottom of the sixth, and it's like, man, they took 5 innings to get 8 runs. They're not going to score 5 runs right now, but sure enough, they scored 6. If I remember right, that's the number, and won that game 14-13. It was Richie Schultz, and I have thoughts or memories of Richie Schultz having other walk-offs. Like, I know that's not a stat that our sport keeps track of, but I think Richie Schultz, if there was a stat for number of walk-offs, I think Richie Schultz would be right up there. Because, I mean, for one, I played over 20 years. Like, I only had 2 shots at a walk-off at the World Series. I blew both of them. I didn't score either time. But, like, you know what I mean? I played 23 years straight at the World Series and only got 2 opportunities. It's those opportunities don't come around a lot. Ax, you got a walk-off at the World Series or in one of these regionals?
Man, I don't remember. Like, once I play a game and I'm into the next game, I don't remember. Like,
you'd remember.
I'm sure I have. I played since 2008, bro. I'm sure I have.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember my 2 opportunities, I guess, because I came up short in both of them. Ax, I'm busting your balls. I missed a base on one of them. I was playing with Oklahoma. And I actually felt like I touched the base, like the tip of my finger, but they didn't see it, so it didn't matter. I mean, I knew they wouldn't see it. I turned around, was trying to get back, but I mean, Frank Fazio came up behind me and he scored the run, or we would have been knocked into the consolation bracket. I almost cost my team a chance to get into the championship round, missing a base. So don't listen to me, Ax. And then, of course, our championship game. The Jets 30-23 is the final score I had for that. Is that score you got, Ax? I got that right.
Yeah, I mean, man, we were asking what the score was. The final score was. Nobody really knew, so
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but someone will correct us if I'm wrong. Let's run down the all tournament teams. On offense, MVP Adam Rodenbeck went 10 for 11. I guess the minimum for these regional tournaments is 10 at bats, but no matter how you shake it, 10 for 11 is pretty darn solid. Mark Morris from the Heat filling in, Archer's player filling in, playing with the Heat, second best offensive average. Kyle Lewis of the Thunder had a home run, like we mentioned, along with our boy D. Smith. Zach Arambula of the Jets made the all-tournament team on offense. And Chris Dunleavy from the Thunder on defense. MVP,
Hold on. Let me just ask you a question. Who was Chad Dillon then talking about? Chad Dillon, I saw made a post.
He is upset because
I know what he's talking. I thought he said Nick went 17 for 19, and I thought he was talking about Nick Silver, but I have no idea. But there's no
actually
Nick
he
on
said somebody about Nick. Somebody named Nick going 1 for 1, and he should have been.
Oh, got you. You're right.
But I don't know if that was. I didn't know. I don't know if Nick Silver was out there. Like, I don't
know. Silver was with us. He rocked with us. He was
okay. I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, and he went 1 for 1. I think Dylan was kind of trolling.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I thought Nick had gotten to 17 for 19, and so when I didn't hear a Nick name in that rundown, I was like, oh.
What I have to assume is that Mark Morris went 17 for 19, and he was making the argument that should be your MVP.
Right.
But
no,
years and years of these tournaments being run the same way will tell him he's probably wrong. So
He might not be wrong, but he's technically wrong.
All right, well, yeah.
But go ahead.
That's fair. No, that's fair. So Darius Sterling from the Hawks, defensive MVP. Eric Rodriguez, number 2. Zach Arambula makes it on both sides of the ball, third best put out production. Mark Morris makes it on both sides of the ball. And Ikram from the Thunder also made the team. Then there, of course, mention of Kyle Lewis and D. Smith hitting the home runs. And Crystal Malero's little sister had a double play. I only call her that because I've heard you call her that. And I don't think she liked it too much. I like to call her Ashley Marathon Malero since she ran a marathon recently. But Ashley had our first double play, Set Dog.
No, definitely. The first double play recorded by the league. So that was one aspect of it being a cool feat. But the other one was that she's also a woman player. So that's also something of note as well. So definitely a lot of things that were good about that, and just awesome, man. One of hopefully many more to come.
Along those same lines, I'm glad you pointed that out, because along those same lines, I think it's important to note with Molly Fleming, now the full-time pitcher of the Blackhawks, and also Mari Blumenthal, the full-time pitcher of the Sirens. It's been very rare that a team has gone into the World Series with a woman pitcher who is the full-time pitcher. Some have filled in here and there. Lindsay Woodard, going back like 6-7 years ago, I think is the only one I can really think of. I know that when the Archers started out, like Mari Blumenthal and I think Ashley Renshaw was her name, their other pitcher, but they split time. And then last year, Johnny Walker got the majority of the minutes, or majority of the pitches. But this year with Molly pitching for the Hawks and Mari pitching for the Sirens, we're going to have 2 women pitchers that will be their team's full-time pitcher, and I expect for quite a while to come. So I'm glad you pointed that out with Ashley, and just in general, we need to support our entire game, not just half of it. Along the Molly, both Molly Fleming and the pitcher for the Minnesota Millers, I believe his name's Kent. I don't know his last name, but he's pitching for the first time. I mentioned, I know Molly's gotten a lot of pitching in over the last several years, but she's never, just carried a team. So I looked at both her and the Millers' new pitcher. Like, coming in, you didn't know what to expect, but I thought they both did well. The Millers went 0-4, and the Blackhawks went 1-3. But I mean, they weren't like striking out and just giving people easy outs. They were putting the ball in play. I only saw one of the Millers games, but in that game they were putting the ball in play, and they were scoring runs in the games I didn't see. So I'm glad
we
to see
we didn't get to see the Millers, so I don't know how Kent did. I'll take your word, but going against Molly, we've definitely done it in the past for sure. But
well, you guys have had some scrimmages like in Texas, with Tim not there, right?
But I think, I don't have any insider information, but I'm wondering if maybe the fact that she knew going into the season she was going to be the full-time pitcher, she might be putting in some extra work, and if that's the case, it definitely looked like it. Definitely a lot of contact, quality contact. So Molly, for sure, out of those 2 that you mentioned, is the one I saw and the one that I'm speaking of. So.
No, I was impressed with what I was seeing. I was like, because until you see it, you don't know how to kind of shape up the team. But it's like, the Hawks are going to be all right. Where I'm worried about the Hawks, I mean, they already lost Brandon Chesser, and with Steve going down with this dislocated shoulder, like I worry about their offense having like enough weapons. You know what I mean, as the tournament goes on. But we'll see how it plays out. They put up a good front this weekend. There's a couple things I need to mention that I had wrong last week. We never check like the comment section when we go live, Seth, but sometimes there's quite a few. And I had talked about Mark Morris playing the point for the Archers last week, and one of the first comments I found was him out there like, "No, I didn't." So listening to the stream, I heard Jason say, Richie Kressel is in short right, and Ethan Johnston is at short left, and Mark's in the middle. And I just heard Mark's in the middle, and I just put him up front. You know what I'm saying? So I that was my bad. I just heard it wrong, and I ran with it. They actually play the same defense. Mark was telling me that the edge plays. So when they have their pieces together, they look to have they'll have Kyle Bora up short right with Ethan Johnston playing shortstop, short left. Either Richie Kressel or Mark Morris is going to be in the middle spot, right behind them at the next level, like 125 feet. Then they'll have a left fielder that will they haven't figured out the roles yet between Kressel and Morris. One of them will be in that center field spot, and the other one will be in left field. And then they have Demo, like in a deep center field, straight away, and in deep right field, either Caleb Wright, their rookie, or Chad Dillon play out there. So since I gave bad information, I felt obligated to straighten it out. And also, when I told you Nathan Wygan didn't pitch the whole time, that was incorrect. That was just kind of an innocent error, kind of I don't know.
Neil, we forgive you. It's okay.
Well, it's not really on me. It's kind of, and I'm not blaming anybody. It's kind of like the situation we're in the way we stream games. So DB and Rosina were streaming that game, and DB knows Nathan, but Rosina doesn't. And Nathan ended up wearing a different jersey number than what they gave them. So Rosina looked at the number, and it was a different name than Nathan. She's like, "Nope, it's not Nathan. It's so and so." But he was wearing a different jersey, and they didn't. DB couldn't see it, so it's not on him. It's not on either of them. She didn't know him, and he couldn't see him. The same thing happened in the title game between the Edge and the Thunder. For whatever reason, Justin Holland on Sunday was wearing Steve Michaels' jersey, or at least the number Steve Michaels was listed under. So when they were doing the game on the sports network, Mark, whatever that does the play-by-play, it's like, that's the last out. Steve Michaels makes the last out for the Edge. And I know I was thinking, Steve Michaels, he's not playing. And, obviously DB caught it and looked into it and figured out that it was Justin Holland, but he was wearing Steve Michaels' number. So it just kind of, we're an imperfect world on how we don't have anybody being paid to get our information out there or whatever. Mark didn't know Steve Michaels or Justin Holland, and Rosina didn't know Nathan. So it's just the way that played out. But Nathan pitched the whole tournament for them. And then I need to say thanks to John Lykowski Jr. I've been forgetting to do this for a while because he provided the picture that I'm using, actually for all our stuff now. I had reached out to him and asked for a picture for the podcast and asking if he had a picture with both you and I in it. And the only one he had was from 2007. And he sent it on. We're at the plate. That's funny because we were talking about that like rainy day. I think it was right before the championship game in 2007. But we were at the plate doing the coin flip. So I'm using that as our picture on all our stuff now. I didn't know it until after I got the picture. He later sent me a description. John Lykowski Sr. is in the picture because he was the umpire doing the coin flip. But our buddy Don Robinson's in the picture with us also. But I decided to just leave it up there. 2007 was literally like the end of the three of us being like family. So, I don't know. Until I get a better picture with both you and I in it, I'll leave it up there.
I got to say, I got a lodge an objection.
I figured.
I have to strongly object. Strongly.
That's right. The second you and I have a better picture, I'll put it up. I promise.
Strongly.
I promise. Maybe that will motivate you to help me get a better picture.
Strongly object to that.
That's all right. Noted. Noted right here on the air. I won't beep it out.
Object to that.
I won't remove it from the show.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But I didn't know that till afterwards. The dude spent a couple days looking for it. I wasn't going to be petty about it. I'm done being petty, honestly, if I can be. I wasn't going to be petty, but I'll let you do that. I know you don't mind.
I'm certainly not me being petty.
Well, all right. That might not be the right word, but I wasn't going to make a big fuss. I appreciate that John Lankowski went looking for it and hooked us up. And when my phone describes it to me, the only thing it tells me is dogs and 13. So apparently because your number is 13, apparently you show up well in the picture. So that's all I got, man. We've gone on long enough.
Yes.
But thank you to John Lankowski Jr. Jets, man, thank you to all of you. Congratulations. Have a safe drive home. I'm very proud of you guys. You've had a great start to the season, man. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, man. We appreciate you having us on, Seth and Neil.
Can you work on little Ricky and his manners, man? Last time he was on the show, the dude was a perfect gentleman. Now he's getting all sassy with me.
Hey, man. Little Rick's a grown man, man. I can't.
Yeah, right.
He's a man full grown now.
I hear that. That dude's a member of the U.S. Olympic team. So who am I?
Exactly.
All right, man. So thank you to you guys. Seth, drive back. What? Go ahead.
I'll just say, just real quick, Neil, just circling back so I don't have to text you later because I thought of it like 20 minutes ago. 20 years ago, if you would have let NFL players vote on head-to-head contact, they would not have outlawed it. So, just saying, man. Players play.
You're going back to your rule.
I feel you, but that's not even comparable to missed bases, though.
No. I was just saying the players will always how you do things have all the players like to do things how the players have always done things. So again, I always say I missed bases and scored on them. So the only base I ever hurt myself on was I didn't miss it, but I definitely hurt myself on some bases before. But I don't.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this: all the comments I've made is coming from someone who, in 2011, I tore my ACL because of a missed base. So.
Ooh, shit! Wow. Okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I guess my two thoughts on it are one, I don't think it would prevent a lot of injuries because I think we would all still have that reaction. Like it would still be built in our neural net to try to fight our way back to the base. Because I do understand, like that's where we get tangled up. Like as soon as you miss it, it's like you're running full speed trying to go back the other way as fast as you can. And your body's being torqued in a crazy way. So I understand the danger, but I don't think we would stop. I think the reaction would still be the same for a lot of us. But I don't at all think it would lower the scores. Like when you talk about it being
of course it would. Tanner scored on that on the play today, so that run would be done, and there would be another out on the board. So without a doubt, it would lower scores. Without a doubt. But I was just saying, I was just throwing it out. We got to go because I got shit to turn in by midnight.
Fair enough. That ends this conversation. So, man, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Seth, just for showing up, man. We always appreciate it.
Always. Hey, tell Jeremy, can't wait to see him at a tournament, man. Tell him to give me a call sometime, man. We did bullshit on the phone, man. Seems like a cool dude, so.
Nah, Remy definitely is a cool dude, cool personality. We definitely enjoy having him on the squad. He's definitely always on 11, not even on 10, but on 11. He keeps that energy.
Actually, I mentioned that we never go and look at the comment section. I don't really expect any, but when I was talking to Jeremy about that, he's like, dude, I'm all in. I'll work with you guys. So Jeremy might come back and be our little reader, go through the comment section with us. Because you know how it goes when beepball things are going. It'll be like 10 comments and 8 of them will be, hello, what's the score? I'm just kidding. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you to anybody and everybody that checked this out. congratulations to the Bolingbrook Lions and the Chicago Comets for throwing another great tournament. Congrats to the Jets for their success. Appreciate them showing up and hanging out with us. Thank you, Frank Porter, for taking care of the YouTube stuff. Thank you, Chris Jackson, for your help. And we will catch everyone. Oh, you know what? I would decide no show next week.
So close.
Yeah, I know. So close, but so far.
close.
No show next week. No show next week. Father's Day. I'll give you a Father's Day present.
Oh, thank you.
If something pops and for some reason, we feel like that needs to be changed, we'll jump in. But I figure after next week, we're going to be going all the time until after the World Series. So no show next week. So we will see everybody in a couple weeks. Be well.